everybody, and welcome to Wall Street Homestead. I want to welcome back all of our subscribers, and if you're new to the channel and just found us, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, and enjoy what we have to offer in our videos, and just keep coming back. We are coming to you this morning, and my name is Andy. It's a beautiful Sunday morning on this August the 11th, and I just thought I'd sit down and have a visit with you. Just got done working in the garden, watering and fertilizing. We did have a little break in the weather. We had some rain, probably 3/4 of an inch to an inch over a couple of days, and temperatures that were in the upper 70s and lower 80s, which is a nice relief from the 100-degree day we're about to have today. So I got out early after getting off work and got my garden work taken care of, and thought I'd sit down and have a visit with you to let you know that I'm the kind of person that likes to research things and learn things, even though I wasn't a good student in high school, and I'm not going to say how many years ago that was, but I do like to research history and how things are made, how things work, where things came from, what the background is, what the history is of certain things. And in gardening and homesteading, there is a lot of that to go around if you have the interest, and I also like to share that interest. If you're interested in that, then come along and I will share what I have to share today, and you might learn something. We're calling this a homesteading channel, and the one question that keeps popping up is that I have seen multiple times and answered in many different ways, is what is homesteading? If you go to the definition, I found two different ones. The definition that some people might refer to of homesteading is the acquiring of government land to build your homestead on, which was done in many countries across the world, but here in the United States it was started in 1862 with the signing of the Homestead Act by Abraham Lincoln, and that was to help promote the population move to the western part of the United States, and that ran until it was repealed in the 1970s, with the exception of Alaska, which ran for an extension of 10 years, and the final homestead title was issued in 1988 in Alaska for an 80-acre homestead. And over that period of time, over 265 million acres were given out through the Homestead Act program. And the other definition of homesteading, which is the more common or more current modern day version, calls it a sustainable farming, or to raise food and meat for your family, or also may have a craft or of some sort that you sell to generate income off of your homestead. And I think that's kind of what a lot of the modern day homesteaders are doing. They're putting in a garden to raise some of their own food. Some of them are ambitious and try to raise all of their food, or a bigger portion of their food, to last them throughout the year, which is great. There's some, we're just really getting started. I have personally gardened off and on most of my adult life. I grew up in my family, which in the day would have been called a hobby farm or whatever, but today would be called a homestead, as my father worked a job away from home. But every place that we lived, we always had anywhere from 5 to 30 acres, and he always would have a milk cow, if possible, a big garden, chickens for eggs, always put chickens in the freezer, rabbits for meat. If we had space, we'd fatten up a steer to put in the freezer, and that's just the way, I was raised. And it goes back to, he was raised in the Depression, where he grew up in a city, small city, but his father had an acreage just outside of town where they did basically the same thing. So it's kind of in me to do this and I want to do it again, would I like to raise all my food? Sure, that'd be 100% great, but is it realistic at this point? No, I don't have the knowledge and the ability and to do all of that, but I've been learning and watching, and am going to grow my homestead on what property I do own, and I will eventually do a homestead tour to show you what all I have to work with and what changes I already am making to improve on what I have to improve my production, especially in my garden, and possibly some small livestock to generate some food stuffs for the kitchen. So just that is the modern day definition of homesteading, and that's the one I'm following with this channel, and I may revert back to homesteading of the old definition just as a reference and to share some things I've researched and learned, and hopefully it will be interesting to others to learn that, just to see where we came from and where we're possibly heading. Another thing in my idea of homesteading is family and community, and I think in the old days of homesteading back in the 1800s, early 1900s, especially in early stages of the homesteading, that there was a community of homesteaders, because you may be out in the middle of the prairie and your closest neighbor may be a mile or 2 miles away, but that's the closest human contact you'd have. And I'm sure, and things that I have read over the years, that they work together to help each other out, and come over and help they trade labor, day labor, one day to the next, or come over and help with the project and go over and help with the project, or if you have an abundance of something coming out of the garden and the other one didn't, they'd barter and trade foodstuffs, or possibly if one had a spinning wheel, and they would barter and trade other items back and forth. And also there was probably families that came out and homesteaded and took up several homesteads in the same area, so they worked together as a family on multiple homesteads. So that to me is a part of homesteading, is the family and community. And even in the modern day, other definition of homesteading, there is a community and a family. I think there's some families that have multiple homesteads in their backyards and small acreages around the country that work together, either on the same homestead or on multiple small properties, but help each other out. But what I've also seen, especially on the YouTube community, that there is a bigger community in the YouTube and in where regional areas they get together and help each other out and do things and share seeds and share knowledge and share ideas on the homesteading. And that to me is the community of the modern homesteading, and I would like to be working to become a part of that. In the area we're at in southwest Kansas, there's not much of a homesteader movement that I know of. I'm sure there are some like myself that are doing it on a small scale, but not or possibly others are doing it on a bigger scale, but they're not have not built a local community of it. And maybe if some of you out there see this or in the area or close, we can work together. But just on the YouTube community is supporting each other's channels and sharing ideas and sharing heirloom seeds, and if close enough, sharing livestock ideas or trading livestock or buying and selling of livestock. That's part of the community that I feel is a draw to the homesteading lifestyle, and just the relaxation of working in the garden for something you're going to enjoy on the table, even if it is just for the 3 to 6 months that your growing season happens to be, that you have fresh vegetables for that time, even if you don't preserve any in the freezer or canning. We do not do any of that at this point. I'm just now getting my garden ramped up this year and getting serious about it, and have made plans to move it and enlarge it and possibly grow more to be of the ability to preserve it. And like I said, also looking at some livestock to generate some foodstuffs. So with all of that said, again, I welcome everyone to our channel. We're just getting started. I think whenever this goes up, this will be the 4th or 5th video. And my wife is doing some from the kitchen. I'm doing some from the garden. I've got ideas for several other things, and it's not just going to be gardening and cooking. There's going to be other things, because a part of the self-sustainability of a homestead is being able to take care of things on your own, make repairs, fix things yourself as much as you can in your ability, and maybe doing some videos on some of that. I worked in the automotive repair industry for 25 years, so I have a pretty good background on anything mechanical. I will tackle some home repair jobs. I just got done replacing sewer lines under my house, which I have never done, but I got it done. It wasn't the funnest job in the world, but I got it done and saved some money to put back into the house somewhere else. So we'll be sharing some of that, some of our other interests. I like to do some cast iron Dutch oven cooking, so I'm going to share some of that. I like doing some cooking outside. I've got some ideas on some videos on that. And there'll be some garden videos. Maybe today or tomorrow I'll start working on my wicking tubs and getting them ready for the fall garden. I'll try to take some video of that. I plan on doing a video on the wicking tubs and share that knowledge that I have recently learned and have had good luck with this year, of my first year doing it. So with all of that said, again, thank you for coming and joining in our journey. And please, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, and if you've made it to this far in the video, I thank you for watching the entire video. I hope it wasn't too dry and uninteresting for you, but like I said, I like to research things and learn things, and I also like to share that, and I will do some of that along the way as I plant gardens and try different seeds and give you a background on those seeds. And also, we do have a Facebook page, Homestead, Wall Street Homestead, so go by there and like that, and we'll be putting pictures and different things up on there, and looking forward to seeing you over there as well. So have a wonderful day, and hit those buttons, and please come back again. Goodbye.